Okay, so this flashback is asking you to identify the 5 types of chemical reactions based on their definitions. So if you're struggling with this, let's do a refresher on how we define each type of chemical reaction. So the first one that we learned about is called synthesis. And so if you remember, a synthesis reaction is when 2 or more elements come together to form one new compound / product. Okay, so let me repeat that. A synthesis reaction occurs when 2 or more elements come together to form one new compound / product. Our second one that we learned about is called decomposition. So a decomposition reaction. And that occurs when a compound reacts with something like heat or light, as a couple examples. And when it does that, it breaks down into its separate elements. Okay, so a decomposition reaction is when a compound reacts with heat or light, and then it'll break down into its separate elements. The third type of chemical reaction we learned about is called a single replacement reaction. Single replacement, that's what SR stands for. So single replacement reaction is when a single element trades places with another element with a like charge. And when it does that, it forms a new compound and a new single element. Okay, so single replacement reaction. When a single element trades places with another element with a like charge. When it does that, it's going to form a new compound and a new single element. Okay, new page. Reaction 4 is double replacement reaction. That's what DR stands for, double replacement. And that is when an element from one compound trades places with an element with a like charge from another compound. And when it does that, it's going to form two new compounds. Okay, so a double replacement reaction is when an element from one compound is going to trade places with an element from the other compound. And remember, those two elements, for them to trade places, have to have like charges. And when that happens, they're going to form two new compounds. Okay, so our fifth and final reaction is called combustion reaction. And combustion reactions are very straightforward. They consist of a hydrocarbon that bonds with, so I'm going to put a plus sign there, oxygen gas. Now remember, a hydrocarbon is whenever a carbon is bonded to a hydrogen. There will be numbers here, and it doesn't matter what number is there. All that matters is that a carbon is bonded to a hydrogen. And it's going to react with oxygen gas. Remember, oxygen gas is O2. So when that happens, they always form carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so carbon dioxide, remember, is CO2, and then water is H2O. So every single time for a combustion reaction, your products will always be CO2 and H2O. And your reactants will always be some type of hydrocarbon bonding with oxygen gas. So there is a refresher on the 5 types of chemical reactions. Use this video to help you answer these questions in this flashback correctly.